Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
I never got to ride with him. I really do regret that. But I really wish I did. But he passed doing something he loved, and that's just how I want to remember him.
Tonight, we're following up on a tragic story from the weekend. A Hebron teenager is dead after a dirt bike crash near the intersection of Burnt Hill and Cone Road. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden. The crash happened last night. The teenager was taken to Marlboro Middlesex Clinic where he died from his injuries. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson is in Hebron where students are remembering their classmate.
Here at Ram High School, a void has been left in the hearts of all of those who knew 14-year-old Eric Brooker. As I talk to classmates here, they're remembering him as a leader and a person who lived every day to the fullest.
He was always just this funny and outstanding guy. He would never really care about what everyone said about him. He would always just push past all the other people that would hate on him, and he would just push through it and be himself. That's what classmate Julian Natelli had to say about his friend Monday after school, just a day after finding out 14-year-old Eric Brooker died in a dirt bike crash. Brooker, who was a freshman at Ram High, would ride dirt bikes during his free time, and classmates like Becca Krajewski say those will be their fondest memories with him.
He'd call me and say, hey, you want to go ride? And I'd be like, yeah, of course. Just ride around town, in the trails. It's fun.
Brooker's last ride was on Sunday afternoon when state police say he lost control of his bike on Burnt Hill Road near Cone Road and crashed into an embankment. Neighbors like Michael Pagic say it's a tragedy that a young man's life was taken so soon.
It's a shame. Hey, like I say, I'm almost 83. If I kick the bucket, well, I guess it's sad in some aspects, but 14 years old, that's a genuine tragedy.
Pagic lives on Burnt Hill Road where the crash happened. He says he didn't hear or see anything Sunday afternoon, but got a call from his friend who broke the news.
My buddy called me up here just a while ago, and he heard about it. And he asked the same thing to you, if I'd seen or anything. I said no, but I jumped in my little pickup and I did make a drive over it, and the only thing I saw was a scar on the bank just past Cone Road on the right-hand side, a fresh disturbance of the dirt, and there's rocks and stuff there.
This tragedy is being felt across a tight-knit community, and Brooker's classmate William Strecker says he's going to try and honor Brooker in any way he can.
So something that really sticks out to me and something that I think we could all take a little bit from is just being yourself like Eric was and not caring what people think, just doing the things that make you happy. It was something that he really loved, so I'm also glad that when he passed, it was at least doing something that he really enjoyed.
Now, there is a GoFundMe set up for Brooker. If you want to go donate, we'll have information on how you can on our website, fox61.com. In Hebron, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Well, tonight, DoorDash is investigating after one of its drivers allegedly assaulted someone on UConn's campus over the weekend. The company says the driver's account is deactivated while they cooperate with police. UConn officials say the victim was lured into the suspect's car during a delivery at the Hilltop Apartments and was assaulted. The victim is safe, and police say the driver took off in a gold 1998 Toyota Camry. DoorDash says it is also reaching out to support the victim. All right, we continue to follow developing news in Enfield, where an assault investigation is underway. It happened overnight in an area of Post Office Road near I-91. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza is in Enfield with what police have confirmed tonight. Priscilla.
I spoke with Enfield police earlier. Here's what I know so far. This started as a domestic assault between a husband and a wife here on Post Office Road. This house behind me, police are still there investigating inside the home with a search warrant. Now, police tell us the wife suffered head trauma and was rushed to the hospital. The husband also had injuries, but he drove himself to the hospital later on. They say during the struggle, 3 shots were fired from 2 separate firearms, a rifle and a shotgun. We're told no one was hit by that gunfire, though. The husband is now under arrest, facing charges including unlawful discharge of a firearm and assault in the first degree. I spoke with one neighbor who says she's shocked to hear about the incident.
It's absolutely crazy. I didn't hear any gunshots. Every once in a while behind us we'll hear gunshots, but there's a couple farms, but I didn't hear anything last night, and I'm kind of surprised to hear that this happened across the street. And the neighbors are typically very quiet, so I just really surprised to hear something happened around here.
Again, 2 people were hurt, both were hospitalized, and 1 man is now in custody, and police are continuing to investigate inside of the home. In Enfield, Priscilla Meza, Fox 61.
Well, Meriden police say a convicted felon is facing charges after officers recovered a stolen gun. Back in April, police responded to a confrontation at Hubbard Park, and when they pulled over two cars leaving the scene, they found a stolen .357 Magnum in one of the vehicles. Investigators later linked that gun to 34-year-old Osvaldo Rivera, who is barred from having firearms. Rivera is now charged with criminal possession of a firearm, theft of a firearm, and carrying without a permit. His bond is set at $75,000. A man from New York is behind bars after police say he came to Groton to meet with what he thought was a teenage girl. Investigators say 38-year-old Timothy Clark was actually talking to an undercover agent. Groton police and NCIS teamed up for the sting operation Friday night. Clark was arrested when he showed up to the meeting spot. He now faces several charges, including attempted sexual assault and enticing a minor. A judge set his bond at $250,000. West Hartford firefighters put out a fire inside a three-story apartment building on Oakwood Avenue yesterday. Crews arrived within minutes and found heavy smoke and fire pouring from the back of the third floor. Firefighters contained the fire quickly. No one was inside. The fire left major damage to the top unit, but only minor damage to the others. The Red Cross is helping families as investigators work to determine the cause. And Waterford police need help identifying a man accused of stealing nearly $2,000 worth of merchandise from the Best Buy at Waterford Commons. Investigators say he grabbed the items, then kicked open an emergency exit to get away, and he left in a black Volkswagen Jetta with Connecticut plates registered to someone else in Unionville. If you recognize him or know where the car is, call Waterford police right away. Well, three men from Massachusetts face federal charges here in Connecticut. Investigators say they robbed a delivery truck filled with Apple products in Manchester back in March. The suspects allegedly held the driver at gunpoint and took more than $316,000 worth of phones, tablets, and other accessories. They were arrested last month, and prosecutors say they could each face decades in prison if convicted. And Westport police are warning people to lock up after another string of car thefts. Officers say 3 vehicles were stolen in just the last week, adding to more than 50 taken so far this year. The thieves strike both parking lots and driveways, often targeting cars left unlocked with the keys inside. Police say the crimes are preventable. Don't leave your car running, unlocked, or with valuables in plain sight. Just a few extra seconds locking your doors can help you from becoming the next victim. Well, a warning for those driving through West Hartford. One major road is turning into a one-way for the next month. Fox 61's Victoria Anderson has all the details on the city's latest project.
A new phase in the West Hartford Center infrastructure project started Monday, which just means more maneuvering for locals with what they're calling growing pains.
LaSalle Road in West Hartford is known for bars, burgers, and bistros, but since March, big wheels and beeps have taken over the downtown street.
I mean, more of an inconvenience and annoying, hoping the end result's really worth it.
Monday marked the beginning of the West Hartford Center infrastructure project's second phase, with goals of newer roads, traffic signals, wider sidewalks, and more greenery.
I'm sure it'll be lovely once it's constructed, but in the interim, we don't have trees, and it's a little disruptive.
During construction, the road is open to northbound traffic only, with police parked near intersections.
That part has been really, really well managed in terms of like safely getting across the street, getting directions.
Locals Allison Shearer and Carolyn Paldino, who work near the street, say the constant noise can ruin any good lunch.
I wanted to bring a friend the other day and specifically sit outside because she's loved the food, but not during this.
All of the restaurants and businesses on LaSalle Road are open, and even with the city offering free street parking on LaSalle and Farmington, some in the area say parking is harder than ever.
It's really hard to find a place to park.
But even with a few bumps in the road, locals say a greener and safer West Hartford is worth it.
We're being optimistic.
The completion date for this project is slated for October 10th, but we will bring you any updates on this project as we get them in. Reporting in West Hartford, Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.
Gooder Foods is recalling 2 boxed mac and cheese products because of undeclared allergens. The recall covers 5 lots of Vegan is Believin' plant-based white cheddar with spirals. The boxes may contain milk, which isn't listed on the label. The company also pulled 3 lots of Here Comes Truffle creamy cheddar and shells, which may contain cashews. 8 allergic reactions have been reported. The affected lots were made between April 7th and April 15th. If someone in your family has allergies and you bought either of these products, return it for a refund. Well, Senator Richard Blumenthal is pushing new legislation to make sure military families don't go hungry. The Military Food Security Act would fix outdated rules that keep some service members from qualifying for food assistance. Right now, nearly 1 in 4 active duty members face food insecurity. Blumenthal says families who sacrifice for our country should never have to worry about putting food on the table. And happening now, Senator Blumenthal is speaking at Wired's AI Power Summit in New York. He's joining tech leaders, policymakers, and media voices to talk about the future of artificial intelligence. Blumenthal will highlight efforts in Congress to set guardrails for AI, including accountability, transparency, and protecting consumers. He and Senator Josh Hawley recently introduced a bipartisan plan that calls for stronger oversight and data protections. Today's summit also featured testimony from industry leaders focusing on how AI could reshape everything from innovation to journalism. And a new law in Connecticut aims to protect consumers from hidden fees. Governor Ned Lamont signed the bill today in Norwalk with State Representative Arnie Jensen there to show support. The law requires businesses to clearly list every fee, tax, or charge up front. No surprises at checkout. It also gives renters more transparency on housing costs and gives consumers the right to repair electronics instead of replacing them. Jensen says the bill is about fairness, honesty, and giving people the protection they deserve.